Has it really been that long already? Oh, now we got the OG music. Let's go. Alright, guys. So we're back again. If I remember correctly, I think we did some caving. So anyway, I was at work today, and I was talking with some of the coworkers. They were just kind of, I'll keep it confidential, obviously, but they were just talking about stuff that they were, kind of like their woes and stuff they were kind of going through. And I've noticed that a lot of people just seem to be always unhappy or angry. So the title suggests, right? Like, why are you so angry? And, I had to look out and kind of wondered the same question, right? Like, when I was younger, didn't really have a reason for it. I had a pretty good childhood, man. I grew up simple, nothing crazy. We weren't rich, but we definitely weren't poor. And I think that perspective is huge. I think it's like actually pretty massive, and it kind of gives you insight on stuff. So if you got stuff that you're going through mentally or physically or whatever, emotionally, spiritually, it's very easy to kind of get lost in the sauce, and you just compare yourself. And I think obviously you hear comparison is the thief of joy, and it's very true. I think that people forget that you don't. The thing is too, we don't know the full story about anything a lot of the times. So, like for example, I'll give a couple examples. So let's say, so I have for example, I love sports cars. A lot of people do, but I do have my dream cars. I have one of my dream cars already, and I'm 29. I've had this car for the last 5 years, and it's been great. It's been a good family vehicle too. It's a Dodge Challenger. I know some people, hey, it's not a dream car, it's not a Ferrari, or it's not a Lamborghini, but that is someone's dream car, and it's my dream car. I get compliments on it all the time, regardless of compliments or not. If it's something that makes you happy, brings you joy, and it's just something to overall be proud of, you should be proud about it. But regardless if you have a good car or not, if you have a car, that's huge. A lot of people don't even have that. I heard somewhere that the life you're complaining about is what someone's praying about or praying for. And I think that a lot of us really forget that, especially when stuff is bothering us in the day to day, which I understand. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in life that can bother you. And I'm not discrediting hardships by any means. We've all had we have all had some hardships. I'm certain of that. But I think that when you look about and see what people's been through and what people go through, it puts things into perspective. Things could be a lot worse. You could be biking around there where if, you have to do a long commute, or you could even be even worse. You may not have a bike. You might have to work like this little worker bee, and, you have to walk. In Tennessee, it's not like New York, man, where you can just walk to everywhere, at least in the parts of Tennessee that I'm located in. But I think that, people take a lot of stuff for granted, and I've been guilty of it. I'm not denying that. I'm not better than anybody, man. I've definitely had my fair share of taking stuff for granted. And, that hurts, and it's unfortunate that, we do that to ourselves because honestly, like, we all deserve happiness. And I think that we do, like I said, overlook a lot of blessings. Alright, so now that sounds silly. So just now getting back. I had to figure out where my iron was. It's been so long since I've been in this world. It's been over 2 months. So I apologize for that. I know you guys probably been missing the modern Minecraft updated world. I know a lot of you like the beta world too, but we do like that good old variety on this Ball channel here. So let's see what's going on down here. Some more coal. We got plenty of that, but hey, it doesn't hurt to always get more. But again, we take stuff for granted, man. And so anyway, so I was speaking to her, and she was basically just kind of venting about how uh, there and my friend basically like he was kind of going through that whole comparison issue. And the thing is, I understand it's something that like we latch onto or we compare all the time. It's really easy to do that. But I can tell you for certain, man, that doesn't get you anywhere and that doesn't have any accountability. It's not to put you down, right? Like, not saying, oh, you should be accountable. It's not like that, no. What I mean by that is the accountability gets pulled away when you're always looking for a reason to explain why you're in the air quote situation you're in. You're not in a bad situation. You're just in a part of your life where you have to evolve to get to the next level, so to speak, right? And I think that, dude, we forget this so much. The best part of life is learning and growing up and growing as a person. And I think that truthfully, too, that explains why so many relationships even fail, right? Because a lot of times growth is very hard. Actually, not a lot of times. Every time growth is very uncomfortable and it's very hard and it's challenging. And that's why a lot of partners don't last because one partner typically outpaces the other significantly when they're growing. So I think that that's something that dude is way too loud. We lower this more down like that would be probably good. That's better. So, outpacing each other, it happens, man. That's just life, and you just got to kind of be okay with it. It's just the reality of it. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean they are either, necessarily. Depends on, of course, how that happens. But, I think that we're way too critical of ourselves. And I think that we always look at the wrong things to pay attention to. I'm trying to watch. He targeted me. Sir, you got to get away. Oh, he did not blow up. I remember I had learned a hard lesson like that. And that was something that when I grew up, when I was growing up, rather. Hey, you're never done growing, right? But when I was growing up, I had a lot of relationships that didn't last, and for good, obvious reasons. And I'm glad they didn't, because I have a beautiful wife now. I got two awesome stepsons. But you grow apart with people that just aren't willing to grow with you, and that's just how it goes, and that's fine. It means that you're both going on your own little path, and you got to evolve, man. And I think that like I said, part of the human just experience is truthfully just evolving spiritually and emotionally and physically. And if you're just always remaining stagnant, you're gonna forever be dissatisfied because you're not ever gonna be proud of who you are. And I think that a lot of people really fall into that category of they're not proud of who they are, and that's unfortunate because I think that everybody should get to experience this. I'm not perfect, man, not by any means, but I'm proud of who I've become and who I was. I wouldn't say that I wasn't proud of who I was, but I would say that I knew I needed work to do. I had work to do, rather. And I think that, going back with understanding that, yes, comparison, look for inspiration instead of comparison, right? If you're always like looking at, oh, well, I'm not ever going to get there. That dude, he's way ahead of me at my age. Well, you don't know what he had to go through, the time that he put in for this. Like, for example, one of my friends, he's always like, well, he doesn't like where he's at in life right now. And I've been there, and I get that. But let me tell you, man, if you don't, if you're not willing to work for what you got, you're never gonna be satisfied, man. You don't know what people's been through, and they may have had a really hard life to get to where they're at, and that might not be a cross you're willing to bear just yet. I mean, some people they think, oh, well, this guy has all this nice stuff. It's like also, that's not your path, man. Uh, he may have went through hell and back, and now that's the only thing he has in life. If you think about it, would you be willing to make that sacrifice to get said thing, right? Materialistic things is something that we all look at. And we're all thinking, well, I want this if I could just get this, if I could have this much in my bank account. I'm guilty of this. I'm kind of a penny pincher. I'm pretty frugal, anyways, as it is. So I am guilty of referring to the bank account a lot. I like money sometimes because I like what money can get me. Like, it gets me a lot of freedom and it buys back my time that I also invested in myself. And so that's why I went into business, because had I not, I wouldn't be able to constantly inflate the money in my account. And you're very restricted when you're working for someone else. There's nothing wrong with that. We need employees. Eventually, I plan on having some, at least like one or two, to reduce the physical work that I'm on site for. But at the moment, I've got to put in the work. I've got to put in the time and effort to actually be on site and make good connections with clients, so that you can, of course, get more referrals, make more money, build that trust, and build you a portfolio. And if you're not doing that, then you can also be working towards something else greater, right? So, like, working toward a career. I think it's like, man, life is pretty customizable. I know that it's easy to feel stuck. And you look at the results of what people have, but you don't, again, look at what is under the surface. It's the tip of the iceberg. We've been here before, by the way. This is when I was talking about the NPC, if you guys remember the NPC at my job. Anyway, that was him. This is a little lore for Baba here. So if you haven't seen that episode, feel free to check it out, or you at Botch. I think it's what the video is called. But I think that, truthfully, man, there's a lot to be explored, and I think that you're not going to excuse the voice crack. My throat's pretty raspy. I've been having terrible allergies. But if you don't explore beneath the surface, then are you really getting to the core, issues that you're facing, right? I think that overthinking it obviously I'm notorious for doing that. But I think that if you just kind of simplify it more, you'll get to results quicker, because you don't have to always be thinking to do things. Just kind of simply being, right? Existing in the moment, being there for the ones you love, right? Being a present person for them, being a very good outlet for them. I did not realize I had a whole stack of 64 torches too. That would have been useful to have earlier and not have to have made them. But anyway, yeah, just be a good outlet, man. Be there for the loved ones that you have. Be there for your partner if you got one. If you don't, then just be there for your friends. Be a good friend. Always be there. Listen to someone. Obviously, be present for yourself too. That's the most important thing, because if you're not there for yourself ever, how are you supposed to be a good friend or a partner or a spouse or, a father or whatever have you? You've got to slow down. And it doesn't hurt to be a kid too, a little bit. Kind of why I went back to Minecraft. It was something that was a massive part of my childhood. I was considering doing a little mini documentary about Minecraft and where I think society would actually be without this game ever existing, which is hard to believe, but I think it'd be a good video. It's definitely an interesting topic, and would definitely like to see your guys' input on that. But we're gonna make our way back to the house. I absolutely love this biome and all the trees. It's just very beautiful the way they did the flowers in the new versions of Minecraft, man. It really is a pretty game. And I know a lot of people miss the C418, the OG Minecraft, like music and stuff. But man, this new music, well, they still have the old one, but the new music is still just awesome. I've always liked piano anyways. It's a very emotional instrument anyways, so it just fits this game. It kind of adds that wonder to the world itself. Alright guys, we have made it back. Just kind of wanted to chat, walk around the world a little bit, hit you guys in the nostalgia feels from the OG Ball Ball listeners, first time subscribers, some of the first originals.
Got the treehouse here.
I want to continue to add to this world and stuff that you guys can remember and
share with me on this journey.
But thank you guys for sticking around. It's definitely been a blast just making new videos. I'm getting really back into it again. It's a lot of fun. I've had some free time, so it's been definitely a lot easier to make content.
And you're gonna raid on my parade, I see. But
just want to thank you guys. You guys, of course, have an awesome day. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.